You thought we were gone, but like the fear that courses through your veins, or the demons you've tried to tame, we've never truly left you. No. We've simply been lurking from the shadows, watching, praying, waiting for the perfect moment, and when you thought you could finally rest peacefully, we've come to remind you that you're never truly alone. Here are 5 cases of the paranormal you just can't ignore. Sometimes nightmares are simply just nightmares, and sometimes they're not. For years, the people who lived in this house had dealt with night terrors and were never able to explain why, until this photo was captured. But it wasn't until it was stumbled across 18 years later that they noticed somebody in the back. After zooming in and brightening the photo, it looks like a deformed, hooded child, or something resembling a child, was caught on film. Now, it was never described what was seen in the night terrors, only that they were horrible. I wonder if this was what was causing the strange things that the families experienced. For many people, their dream job is to work in a hospital, saving people, healing the sick. But for people like you and I, one of the first thoughts that pop in my head is, wonder if it's haunted. This security guard had experienced things time and time again, so he figured one night, on his rounds, to start recording so people didn't think he was losing his mind. As he passed this hallway, he noticed a black figure standing in one of the doorways watching him, and once he goes back, it's completely gone. It isn't until he watches the video later on that he realizes what he had seen. Could this be a patient that has passed, or is this some sort of entity feeding off of the sick? When I was young, I had this black figure following me. The city I moved to was an hour away from my first place, and it started off as nothing. Before I moved, I had a dream and saw a black figure covered in a silk-like material. It had only 1 foot and a pointy nose, but it was inside of a silky material. I thought nothing of it, but when I moved an hour away, it was popping up more and more. Then it got worse. Every night, I would feel stuff touch me. It felt like the feeling you get when someone touches your ribs too hard. It tickles, but it's painful. Anywhere it touched me, it felt just like that. And almost every other night, before I tried to go to bed, I would hear loud steps approaching my room. I would be laying down, my head facing away from the door, and I would hear a loud drag-like stump. It would get louder and louder until I raised my head and looked, and there was nothing there. But it used to scare the shit out of me. This was a submission from an anonymous viewer, looking for help and answers to what this may have been. I suggested that this may be a sleep paralysis demon, one being that it started out as dreams, but then it also made slight appearances while the author was awake. Also, the figure that the author described sounds awfully close to other accounts that I've read about, where the tormented describes what they'd seen, and it's amazingly close to what those authors describe. Now, I'm in no means calling this person a liar, or saying that they made this up. I truly do believe that they experienced this. There has been accounts throughout history where one person will have the same exact experience with an almost identical being as someone who they've never met or spoken to detailing the same event, such as the tall man in the black hat. I truly want to know what you guys believe this could have been, or if anyone has experienced something similar to this, what did you do to get help? So, what do you guys think? If you have any answers, feel free to message us on Instagram, and those messages will be passed to the person who wrote this. And if you have any experiences you would like to share or get answers about, feel free to message us on Instagram. We will share your story with the community. As if exploring caves weren't creepy enough, 2 men in Jordan stumble across a wall of small stones. When they start removing the stones, they spot what looks like an elderly man behind the wall. Now, I don't understand what they're saying, or what made the men go into the cave to begin with, but people are claiming they found a jinn. Now, according to lore, jinn do like to inhabit cold, dark places such as graveyards, abandoned buildings, or caves.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله بسم الله اللهم صل على محمد
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حجي 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بيشي جوا
وين
هات لوكس.
وين
دقيقة حجي ارجع.
As they confront the man, he takes off, which kinda tells me he wasn't in need of help or trapped. So what do you think? Did these men catch a rare sighting of a jinn, or just some good old elder abuse? We've all heard noises in our homes that we can't explain. Unfortunately for us, those noises are usually my out-of-shape neighbor and his Tinder dates. But in the rare occasion that it is paranormal, this next photo is everything you'd fear it would be. After hearing noises and banging in his kitchen, Reddit user Oopsie Spoopsy Man, I'm not making that up, it's Oopsie Spoopsy Man, took a photo to see if he can capture anything. Did you see it? It's okay if you didn't see it at first. Boozer, zoom in a little bit. Little more. Do you see it now? The emotionless white figure staring at you from behind the door. Unfortunately, we don't have any follow-up, or what may have happened, but I can't imagine him staying in that house for much longer. The longer you look at the photo, the worse it gets, just watching you, praying, planning, till the moment you least expect it. Guys, it is so good to be back. I had so much fun making this video, and it has been way too long since we've put anything out, and life has been a little crazy lately, but we're kind of slowly getting back into it. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Kind of already got a few episodes planned, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please let us know. Tell me what you thought about that little story time, you know? We get quite a few people that reach out to us with their stories looking for answers, and sometimes we don't have all the answers, you know? And we would really like to bring it to you guys, and we would also really like to hear stories that you guys have and experiences that you guys had, you know? Because that's kind of what makes all of this as fun as it is. Oh, and we also have a ton of new episode ideas coming. Yes, of course, we're always going to be a countdown channel. We're always going to be a review channel. But kind of want to incorporate a couple more different things that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Any updates that we have, that's where we're going to be posting a lot. So make sure to follow us on that. Message us on Instagram. And I don't intend for this to be the Halloween episode, but if it turns out to be, happy Halloween, guys. I hope you had a great day.
Until next time, spook you later.